Sir, you, Ben. I love Family Guy and I hate South Park. You should take your rants and shove them up your ass! P.S. You suck, Ben! Shame on you, Benthelooney, for not loving Family Guy, for not loving their jokes that cut always their Star Wars episodes, and above all, it's not a copy of The Simpsons. Sure, they made fun of Family Guy on The Simpsons, and they made fun of The Simpsons on Family Guy, and they didn't show it. Well, Ben the Looney, you can suck on my dick for not loving Family Guy. I love Family Guy. I catch every Sunday night. I own all the DVDs. I catch Family Guy on TBS and Adult Swim, and I'm one of the supporting fans. I love Family Guy. Well, if you don't like Family Guy, you can die in a dick before I care, you dumbass. Well, fuck you, Ben Rance. I love Family Guy. And if you don't love Family Guy, then you should go to hell, bastard.
You're an idiot.
If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I had to make 2 comments because you are the most biased ranter I've ever seen. How the hell so you have friend requests? Make a rant about, you jerk. This is my 3rd comment because you're really making me mad. Why can't you just stop watching and turn on your damn cartoons, baby?
What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
What?
English, mother...
Really? You laugh at My Little Frickin' Pony, but not one of the funniest shows on TV?
You have no rights to hate fucking Family Guy. I love Family Guy. If you don't like Family Guy, suck my dick. Fuck you, Ben the loser. No! What the hell does the Looney Tunes show have to do with Family Guy? You sociopathic dreck! You're a suck, and you can burn in hell! You have no regrets for a good animated sitcom like Family Guy. Screw you. I love Family Guy. Family Guy is not gay! Is not! I love Family Guy, but I hate Ben the Looney and I hate South Park. Deal with it. Ben is a big dummy head for ranting on Family Guy. Ben, do yourself a favor, burn in hell! Shut up! I will not be ignored.
Wow, you are a horrid critic. Never seen so much bias in my life. It isn't like it was years ago when I liked it, so it's just bad now. It hasn't changed as much as you would like to think, in order to fuel your rant that you would otherwise, and still is actually, pointless. And it's a parody show. It doesn't steal jokes and other characters, it parodies them, you moron! And don't make me mention your shrill banshee shriek about Bugs Bunny's death. Talk about taking it way too seriously. Also, as for taking it seriously, it's a cartoon, remember? It doesn't have to apply complete realism just because they live in fucking Rhode Island. The list of cartoons that include celebrity guest appearances out of nowhere is far greater than those that do not, including The Simpsons. What a shock! And the title should be Family Guy / Seth MacFarlane Rant, since you have a grudge against someone who was talented enough to get hired by Hanna-Barbera because of his writing talents and art degree, while you just sit here with your shitty drawing claiming he's selfish and superficial because he works on 3 shows? Clearly this is bias, and you don't like the show because it doesn't meet your exact standards of humour and artistic style. This is purely nostalgia, and there are no valid points made outside of, I don't like the show, so no one should because it's not Looney Tunes or Simpsons. Either make a valid argument, understand the word parody, or watch something else. That's simple. Postscript. I am not an avid fan nor watcher of Family Guy / its counterparts. I am merely defending it based on the flaws of your argument, if it can be called that, and the fact that Seth MacFarlane should not be claimed as wasted talent simply because you don't like a show, or 2 he works on. He actually has talent, and you are seemingly jealous to be singling him out, because you know, he's the only one working on Family Guy. Obvious sarcasm. I guess a degree in fine arts and writing skill that caught the eye of a company like Hanna-Barbera just doesn't matter to you.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
Benthelooney, you are a trucking dumbgrass. Do you not know what the hell you are talking about? This is the worst rant I have ever seen. You're a biased, hypocritical fanboy that needs to die. Enjoy hell, you atheist dumbgrass! Adventure Time is 100
Ah, screw it, I ain't reading that.
Let's overthrow Benthelooney! 227 to 228 dislikes. Sorry, dude, but you fail. Adventure Time is awesome. I'm gonna try and say this in a more mature manner. Okay? Benthelooney is a nostalgia tard. Wanna know why? Because he has an obsession with 90s stuff, and this is why I hate 90s kids, because they say the 90s are the best years, and is a nostalgic year. Yeah? See, and also, Benthelooney fanboys are 10-year-olds thinking that this is the best ranting ever. Benthelooney is a rant poser, and he makes poorly made videos with the shittiest program, Windows Movie Maker XD. I use iMovie, and also stop your ditching. He somehow consistently gets worse. He keeps praising himself for accomplishing nothing. Did you see his Neb rants on Benthelooney? That was just him sucking his own trick. He constantly wonder why girls don't want to date him. Well, I can tell you why they don't want to date him. Because he's whiny, arrogant, and he has an incredibly annoying voice. Complains about the littlest things, and he has no respect for others' opinions if they like a show he hates. Anything else you'd like to add to that list? So, let me get this straight. You're proud of a video that was incredibly flawed and incredibly biased? The reason I hated your TED review was because you were basing your opinion on TED on your opinion on Family Guy, which was already flawed and biased, as proven by Super Funny Bros. Look, I'm not gonna deny that TED had some problems, but you had to, at least, admire the concept of a grown man and his buddy. Sure, it's unoriginal, but if you ignore the gross-out jokes, you can see a nice friendship between them. You don't have to find that type of humor funny, but if this is one of the worst comedies you've ever seen, that can't be saying much, meaning that you couldn't have seen a lot of bad movies. And if you have seen a lot of bad movies, then I simply want to assume that you hate every single comedy movie that has come out since the 2000s started. Hopefully, I'm wrong about that. What modern comedies do you like? I'm curious. Well, to be fair, it was a mean video. I know it's your character, but the problem with that logic is you need to identify that it's obviously not you in real life. The nostalgia critic is obviously not Doug Walker. The angry video game nerd is obviously not James Rolfe. I don't want to sound mean or anything, but Benthelooney just seems like a mean version of you, not a whole different character. And to elaborate on why your TED review is so terrible, it's pretty much the reason why several rants on yours don't work. When doing a review, you're supposed to say something good about whatever you're reviewing. Often when reviewing a bad or terrible movie, there's usually something good about it. Animation, voice acting, etc. But in a lot of your rants and reviews on bad movies, you just bash those movies to high heaven without any redeeming qualities at all. If it's a movie that deserves to be criticized, like Jack and Jill, I can understand why there's nothing good to say. However, in this video, you flat out admitted that there were a few things that you liked in Ted, so that completely makes your original review unnecessary. And I would like to remind you that just yelling your exaggerated opinions isn't funny, it's infuriating. Doug Walker uses jokes when he yells. That is something you always fail to do. Often, when you attempted jokes, they were way less funny than the jokes in Ted, my opinion. so no offense, but your original review on Ted is nothing to be proud of, but rather to be ashamed of. Shut up and repack opinions, please, or no more Mr. Nice Guy. Oh no, another Seth MacFarlane. The worst animatic I've ever seen. The characters look ugly. Maybe being a cartoonist isn't what you were destined for, Ben. Glad to see your years of ranting made you learn absolutely nothing about quality in making cartoons. This was worse than the cartoons you used to review. This is Family Guy levels of horrible.
Ben, you are the worst person I know. You claim to respect other people's religions, yet you make a video mocking it. I have lost all respect for you.
Here's a quarter, call someone who cares.
I truckin' hate this guy. He just has to bullspit. If you can't deal with new ideas, just truckin' kill yourself then, dumbgrass. Kids are too stupid to understand drama. What kind of drugs are you? Nowadays, kids understand anything. You know what? You sound and act and draw like a rejected Newgrounds animator, you truckin' faggot. Who give a flying truck if characters are exclusive? I bet you do give birth to truckin' wussy. Who's your trucker? Your dad? He must have needed a sperm donation to do it because he didn't have the balls to come inside you. Go kill yourself, you sad representation of the human race. You're grinding for that many months! You're rating on my fave show! Screw you! This sucks and so does you. Teen Titans Go is 100 times better than the original show.
Seriously?
Starfire strangles cats. You are all plasters! TTG is better than TT because it's funny! You all can't change the future of the network! Only CN can change it! So stop ranting and forget about it! God truck! You have YouTube! Search TT up, lazy spits! I know feelings and I feel for you! BTW, I think TT feels depressing in a darker mood, so if you hate on me for this, truck you all then! I don't give trucks anymore! How dare you rant on Teen Titans Go? That's it, I will tell Kylie the Go animator to rant on you. Listen to me. You don't have to like Pixar movies, that is fine, but you don't have to open them and say tier R or bill tier R some animated movies I hate as well too. This video is full of stupidity, bias, and hypocrisy, and children should cry and run away from it. Want to know what Jim Jenkins, creator of Doug, said about shows like Gravity Falls? He said, "A lot of what we see getting made seems pointless. I don't really find the design of it very interesting. I don't find the humor funny. There's almost zero plot. It seems like they're going for gags and maybe style. I don't know. It hits me as a little cautious and empty. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's a trend. I can't make any heavy philosophical connections about it. I just think it was a different approach." And he also said, "It used to be better back then when Doug and its TV compatriots were on the air." They most certainly were not meant for younger children. Arguing it's a kid's show is one thing, though it's wrong. Arguing it's for younger children is utterly ridiculous. Paul Germain, the head writer, flat out stated that he had never had any interest whatsoever in writing a show for little kids. Also, Benthelooney, this is just Cartoon Network's fanboy nonsense. It's crystal clear what your problem is. Subtly flies over your head, and you need things to be in your face in order to get it. Cartoon Network cartoons are for those who need everything to be so exaggerated and obvious that nobody could possibly miss the joke/humor. You probably like the Fairly Odd Parents too. Probably Invader Zim too. Look how obviously edgy we are. That's the only reason you acknowledge Rocko's Modern Life and Ren and Stimpy are good. It's obvious in its edginess. You have to have a different perspective in order to grasp the parental humor in Rugrats. In your video, you said you liked Birch Hartman's work. And who created the Fairly Odd Parents? Nope, what I'm saying is it's clear based on the prior author's specific taste why he likes certain shows and not others. A la you. I'm a Rocko's fan myself, and I'm not so much a fan of the Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon shows that were mentioned because they were pretty much interchangeable vehicles for non-stop jokes. There's no such thing as a straight line in those shows, and they're not driven by story. Plus, the characters tend to be two-dimensional at most. Rocko, on the other hand, incorporated its jokes/humor into actual stories, where the characters had clear human motivations and actually depth to their personalities. It's kind of an apples to oranges thing. The Cartoon Network shows mentioned are/were more like the cartoons Looney Tunes comprised, only much faster paced, or not really paced at all, as I see it, which is why I don't get the same simple enjoyment from them as I do watching a Bugs Bunny or Wile E. Coyote cartoon. You're absolutely nuts for spit, dude! You really need to get a life! As to your attempts to reply to comments on other forums on the subject, 1. If you want subtle material, you watch anime? Laugh out loud. Yes. And if I want some peace and quiet, I'll stand by an airplane during takeoff or go to a rock concert. Not all cartoons are the same, nor should they be. Some cartoons have silly slapstick humor like anvils falling on heads, and some are more story-driven and feature observational humor. Rugrats is the latter. I know you're an insane little troll, but just in case there was any sort of sincerity in that remark, I thought I'd address it.
My God, are you still talking?
How dare you talk trash about my favorite channel on TV? That's it! Go hang yourself in the neck!
So, you complain about current Cartoon Network cartoons being weird when you are a fan of HHPHY? You do remember that show, right? I do. You know what? It was weird. How is it that weird in a good way and Adventure Time is weird in a bad way? Doesn't make sense. Also, Ben 10 was a great show, far better than Teen Titans. Why do you think Ben 10 got so many continuations? Maybe because it's good, and you just don't want to give it a chance.
Hating on Adventure Time, now you're just blinded by nostalgic prejudice. God, I thought you were the righteous man to follow. You're just an idiot who hates on every new show and rants about it for the laughs. I hate seeing now as much as the next guy, but you no longer embody reasonable opinion as to why. I hope I'm right that you're hating on CN because it has tons of reasons to be hated, not because you just hate it simply.